أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله وعلى أهل بيتك المظلومين صلى الله عليك يا مولاي ويا سيدي يا أبا عبد الله يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة ويا عبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنة يا غريب يا شهيد كربلاء فيا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل. I begin in the name of the Almighty God, the Compassionate, the Merciful, the One who has created everything in utmost perfection. And may His peace and blessing be upon His pure Prophet, the peak of His creation, the symbol of humanity, the Holy Prophet Muhammad. And upon His beloved progeny, the Ahlul Bayt, especially the savior of our time, Imam al-Hujjah, Ajjallah Ta'ala Fajr Sharif. May Allah hasten in His reappearance. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قال الله تعالى في محكم كتابه الشريف وقوله حق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وسابقوا إلى مغفرة من ربكم وجنة عرضها كعرض السماء والأرض أعدت للذين آمنوا بالله ورسله ذلك فضل الله يؤتيه من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم. Please illuminate your hearts and minds with a loud salawat. So let's go through last night's points, important points that we talked about. First of all, we said, and we talked about it, we discussed about it, that in history, in human history, that we look and we see, there was always turning points. As we talked, religious, society, scientific, political, everything we see in every corner, we see there was a turning point in that time. For example, when the Prophet introduced Islam, he came with Islam, declared Islam as a religion. It changed humanity. World wars, it changed humanity. Finding technology, discovering it. As right now we are in the time of AI and we can see that it's changing us. Wars that are happening right now, it's changing. We feel it, it's changing. So the first point was that. The second point was the biggest, the most significant, the most greatest change that is going to happen and it's still not happened is the reappearance of Imam Zaman, inshallah. And it's still not happened. And Satan, on the other hand, we see Shaitan, he doesn't want this reappearance to happen. Why? Because the biggest enemy of Shaitan is Imam Zaman. He is going to come and he is going to just destroy Shaitan. So he is delaying Shaitan. And the other side, we see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the key for His reappearance. If we want Him to reappear, we have to do something. As we told about the examples, we talked about history, that in the history we see, it was always on the Muslims, the Shias, to do something, to change it, but they didn't change it. In the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen, they should have changed it, but they didn't change it. Right now, we have to change it. It's our time. For 11 centuries, it's our time, and we have to change it. But we can't do it without any experience. We need experience. We need something from the past. So we look at the time of Imam Hossein. We see a narration from Imam Baqir alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And he says that if Imam Hussein wasn't killed, a divine relief would be happen in that time. A faraj would be happen in that time. But it was delayed because they killed Imam Hussein. And killing Imam Hussein wasn't like suddenly. They didn't wake up from their sleep and they say, okay, we don't like Imam Hussein and we're going to kill him. No, they had a background. There was something that changed them. And that caused until they killed Imam Hussein alayhi salam. They martyred Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So that we have to research, we have to see, we have to study history and see what was the cause. Why did this happen? Why did they martyred Imam Hussein? Why was that? And we talked about, we have actions. We divide actions in three main parts. First of all, personal actions that have consequences on ourselves. Like, for example, you do good to your father, your son will do good to you. That's one consequence. And it's a personal act. A famous story that we have in the time of Musa and Khidr, all of us know this story, it's in the Quran, that the Musa, Prophet Moses, he went to Prophet Khidr until he can learn something from him. Prophet Khidr said, you can't learn from me, you're not going to be patient that much. And he says, no, I'm going to be patient. Prophet Moses said, I'm going to be patient, I'm going to be with sabr, insha'Allah. And he says, okay, let's go. So they get a trip, they go on a trip. Some events happen until the last event. The last event is that they enter a city and the city doesn't respect them. They didn't feed them, they don't give them any drinks, nothing. They don't respect them. But Prophet Khidr, what does he do? He fixed a wall. A wall of that city was falling down, it was getting destroyed, but he fixes it. He works there and fixes it. And Prophet Musa says, why are you doing this? They didn't even respect us. They didn't even talk to us. They didn't give anything to us. Why are you doing this? And what he says, Prophet Khidr answers, he says that this wall, under this wall is a treasure for two kids. And these two kids had a good father. وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحٌ. They had a good father. And that's why I'm keeping this wall. I'm fixing this wall. Imam Sadiq explains this ayah. And he says, you know what the difference, how many gaps were between that father and this child? It was 70 generations between them. 70, not 17. 70 generations were between them. And that affected, because that father was good, that son got treated good. So fathers, so mothers, if you want your generation to be good, you have to act good. Not just teaching them is enough. You yourself have to be good until it can be good. So this is the first topic that we talked. Personal acts, personal consequences. Another one that we tagged, personal acts, community and society consequences. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not do adhab, will not punish a society because of one mu'min. Because of one mu'min in a society, He will not punish them. Look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves that. Just because you act good. And on the other side, we have a story that a prophet went to pray for rain. There wasn't raining, and they went to pray. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I'm not going to accept that prayer. Why? Because there's somebody that did sin in between you. And he has to repent from that. He has to repent from that. So because of that person, everybody is getting punished. So we have two sides, good one and bad one. Because of a good mu'min, he's going to do good for you and he's not going to punish. On this other side, you have to be also good, not bad. Why? Because maybe all around you is getting affected by you. So personal acts, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil faraj. And the last one is collective acts, community acts, actions that has community and society consequences. Like I talked about the tragedy of Harra, that big tragedy, that dark spot in history, for Islam history, that happened 2 years after Imam Hossein. Why? Because they didn't act upon Muawiyah. They should have acted upon Muawiyah. They shouldn't be quiet, but they were quiet. They didn't do anything. They didn't talk. They didn't remove Muawiyah. So they were punished by Yazid. And Yazid did something that is never going to be forgotten. It's the worst thing that happened in that time. Until that time, it was one of the worst. What was it? Muslim ibn Aqaba, or what they call him, Musrif. He did israf in bloodshed. He killed more than 4,000 men. They violated 1,000 women. More than 1,000. Just 1,000 of them got pregnant. And they killed innocent people, innocent kids, innocent children. That's what they did. And he only was pleased after Medina was his servants. Only in that time he was pleased. Not before it. He said, you have to be my servants until I'm going to be pleased. I'm going to remove this punishment. Why? Because they didn't talk when Muawiyah was up. If they would have talked, not Imam Hossein would be killed. Not this would happen. They didn't talk. They didn't do anything. And that was the punishment they got. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So let's enter tonight's discussion. That was all for last night. Let's enter our discussion. And we have to remember this, that however it's getting delayed, how much it's getting delayed, we're delaying it. This reappearance, it's getting delayed. This faraj, this relief is getting delayed. It is getting harder. It's getting worse. It's becoming more difficult. In the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, we see in that time that only the people of Medina need to do bay'ah with Amir. Only the people of Medina, only that. After they didn't do any bay'ah, they were against him, they didn't obey him. After that, until the time of Imam Hussein, only the people of Kufa. It was bigger than Medina. There were more people. But still, it wasn't that much. It was just one city. They had to help. They didn't help. It gets hard. It gets harder. The next imam, the next imam, the next imam, until now. The whole world right now is affected because of this delay. It's getting harder. The whole world has to be changed. Not the whole world, at least the Shi'as. How many Shi'as do we have? More than 300 million. That's how much they have to change. In that time, how much was it? At least the most that we can say is 1 million. The most. Right now, because we delayed it. It was delayed until now. It's going to get harder. If we don't act, it's going to get harder and harder and harder. And we see in Quran and our religious topics that we talk about that rushing is not something good. Ajalah, we call it, is not something good. And today we see in society that everybody is in a rush. They want everything fast. Before we had Amazon that it would deliver in 1 week. And then they saw people don't have any time. They're all in a rush. They changed it into 2 days. They say it's not enough. 1 day. It's still not enough. 2 hours. In 2 hours it will reach your day in front of your door. Food. They are all in rush. 30 minutes is too much. 15 minutes. If you can reach it in 15 minutes, you get 5 stars. You're all in a rush. Before, I remember we talked about, our parents would tell us that if you want to do an act, if you want to talk, if you want to say your thought, swallow it 7 times. What does it mean? It means think 7 times. This word that I am saying, is it correct? This thought am I saying, is it correct? Now everybody's in a rush. Whatever they want to say, they say it fastly. They don't think upon it. Whatever they want to act, they don't think upon it. You have to think upon it. Don't be in that rush. Rushing is not good. Prophet says that إِنَّمَا أَهْلَكَ النَّاسِ الْعَجَلَةِ. Being just in a rush, it's going to destroy people. وَلَوْ أَنَّ النَّاسِ تَثَبَّتُوا لَمْ يَهْلُكْ أَحَدًا. If they would just wait a little, they wouldn't be destroyed. Just wait a little. Just think about what you're doing, the consequences that it has. Just think about it. Just be a little more humble, be more patient. But we have one thing that we have to rush in it, and that is being on the good side. If you delay that, you're going to be punished. That's the only exception that we have. When you want to defend somebody that you know he's right, you have to rush. You can't delay it. It's haram. You can't. You can't delay that, because if you delay it, it's going to pass the time and it's going to get harder. It's going to get harder. It's going to get harder until you can't do anything. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد. So after that, let's see and look a brief look at historical moments that we see and understand a little about that situation in that time. In the past time, the politicals, how it would work, it was in this situation that after a leader would die, one leader died, what would happen? Those major figures in that time would be the next leader. If they had companions and if they would get pledge, bay'ah. If that would happen, they would become khalifa. They would become the next leader, the next ruler. So pledge and holding your pledge upon them and being a good ally to them was very significant. It was not something symbolic. And not like today, like voting today is something symbolic. It's not that important. Like if somebody that has a good figure, you don't even know who he pledges to, who he votes. You don't know it. It's all insecurity. But in that time, it was important. So what did Muawiyah do? Muawiyah in that time, he did something that he wanted Yazid, his son, to be the next Khalifa. He wanted that to happen. It was important to him that this would happen. So what did he do? He did 2 acts. He did 2 acts until Yazid would be the next Khalifa. First of all, he did what we call it bribery, riba. And he bought people. They say he spent more than 1 million dinar in that time just bribing people and giving them money until Yazid would be that person. So he bought people. He bought good people. He bought the people until they can be with Yazid. The second thing he did was he assassinated who? Those that were going to be in attack and in the same place as Yazid. There were going to be a hard time for Yazid. So he demolished them. He destroyed them. The first one that he destroyed was Hassan ibn Ali, Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajam. So he demolished them. What did he do? What did Muawiyah do in that time? He told the wife of Imam Hassan, Ja'ada. He told him that if you kill Imam Hassan alayhi salam, in some way, however you want. If you kill Imam Hassan alayhi salam, you will be the wife of Yazid. And for her, this was the biggest opportunity. For her, this was the biggest opportunity. Yazid is going to be the Khalifa. I should kill Imam Hassan in any situation I can. So she gives poison to Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba, and Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba dies and was killed by Ja'ada. After that, Ja'ada goes to Muawiyah and says, okay, where's your promise? You promised me. You promised me that I'm going to be Yazid's wife. Look what Muawiyah said. Muawiyah said, you were not loyal to Imam Hassan. Who says you're going to be loyal to Yazid? Who says you're going to be? Imam Hassan was better than Yazid. He was better than Yazid. I know that. You weren't loyal to that, the best person on this world. And then you're going to be loyal to Yazid? I don't want that. So she was khasra dunya wal akhirah. She didn't get married to Yazid and she lost akhirah because she killed Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba. The second person that Muawiyah killed was Abdullah ibn Zubayr. He was with Muawiyah, but because he was a threat in that time for Yazid, because he was a threat for Yazid, the people of Sham, the people of Damascus, they accepted him more. They knew him as a bigger person, so he killed him too. Another one, Sa'ad ibn Waqqas, he killed him too. 3 persons that in that time, he gave poison to them and killed them until Yazid would be the person. But something happened in this. After this, Imam Hossein didn't pledge. Muawiyah planned that after he dies, everybody would pledge with him. He bribed them, he gave money, he killed. But Imam Hossein didn't pledge. Didn't pledge to him. What was the plan? What was the plan? Muawiyah tells his son, Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Ajil farajahum. Allahumma salli. Ya Salli ala Muhammad wa ali. So what was the plan? Muawiyah, when he was in his deathbed at that time, he calls Yazid. He calls Yazid and tells him to come here. I have some advice to give you. So Yazid comes and Muawiyah talks to him. He says that I have humanized everything for you. I have put the best situation for you. You're going to get this kingdom in free will. But 3 people are threats for you. The first one is Abdullah ibn Umar. He is the first one, the son of Umar. He is the first threat of you. But don't be worried about him. If you buy him, give him some money, do something like that, he will be on your side. Just pay attention to him. He is going to be on your side. So the first person is who? Abdullah ibn Umar. The second person is Abdullah ibn Zubayr. And Abdullah ibn Zubayr, he says that if you find the opportunity, he's very smart. If you find the opportunity, kill him. In any way you can, kill him. And the last person is Hossein ibn Ali. But Hossein ibn Ali, he's a good person. He's from the progeny of the Prophet. And you can't kill him. So he's going to go against you, but don't kill him. Don't do anything with him. Just pay attention and try to bring him on your side. Don't kill him. Because he's the progeny of the Prophet. The people will be against you. Don't do that. Muawiyah he wasn't wise. He was smart, but tricky. So don't kill Hussein, he tells him. Don't kill Hussein ibn Ali. But Yazid doesn't listen to him. What does Yazid do? He sends his uncle Aqba. He sends his uncle, after Muawiyah dies, he sends his uncle Aqba to Imam Hussein, which was in Medina. Yazid was in Sham. He says Aqba to Medina, where Imam Hussein was. And he sends him a letter and tells him tell to Imam Hussein to pledge with me. And what does Imam Hussein tell to Aqba? He says that you know, قَدْ عَلِمْتَ أَنَّ أَهْلَ بَيْتِ الْكِرَامَةِ. You know where the Ahl al-Bayt. You know that. And وَمَعْدَنَ الرَّسَالَةِ, you know we're the progeny of the prophets. You know that. And you want me to pledge with Yazid? Yazid, who's from the progeny of Abi Sufyan, he's the son of Muawiyah. It's going to be the opposite. Why do you want me to do this? I'm not going to do this at all. I'm not going to do this. I'm not pledging to Yazid. Aqba sends a letter to Yazid that Imam Hussein is not coming down. He's not going to pledge to you. What does Yazid say? He says, if Imam Hussein doesn't obey us, he doesn't pledge, we're going to cut off his head. That's what he said. He wasn't like Muawiyah wise. No, he wanted to demolish everybody that was in that situation. So he said, if Imam Hussein doesn't pledge, I'm going to cut off his head. See what he's going to do. So Imam Hussein, after that, he moved to Mecca because it was a threat in that time. Medina wasn't safe. He moved to Mecca because Mecca is the city of what we call Al-Haram city. So it's not good and it's not right if you kill somebody there. And any blood shouldn't be poured there. So you have to be safe there. And because of that, Imam Hussein stayed in Mecca for 4 months. After that, he moved to Karbala. 23 days he was in the way to Karbala, and 8 days he was in Karbala. From the 2nd of Muharram until the 10th of Muharram. So this was his way. After Muawiyah died, only 12 days in Medina. After that, 4 months in Mecca. He came to Karbala, and after that, Ashura. So that is what happened. Yazid didn't want him to be alive. And when Imam Hussein didn't give the pledge, the people of Kufa heard about this. That Imam Hussein didn't pledge to Yazid. And they didn't like Muawiyah. The people of Kufa didn't like Muawiyah, nor did they like Yazid. So they gathered in Sulaiman ibn Surad al-Khuzai's house, one of the companions of Imam Ali, and we will talk tonight about him. They gathered in his house. He was the big person in Kufa. So they gathered and they wrote letters to Imam Hussein that, Ya Hussein, come to Kufa, and almost 18,000 letters were sent to Imam Hussein that you have to come to Kufa, from Sulaiman, from Habib, from Zubair, from other people, from Wahab. These were the people that sent letters to Imam Hussein. And they told Imam Hussein, you should come to Karbala. You have to come to Kufa. You have to come. And because of that, Imam Hussein sent Muslim. He sent Muslim because of this much letters. Each day he was in Mecca. Each day letters would come to Imam Hussein that we want you, you have to come here. And that's why he sent Muslim. And Muslim was there. And it was good in that situation at first. So Muslim, after he sends a letter to Imam Hussein that come to Kufa. These are good people, they want you. After that, they betray him. After that, they betray Muslim. So until that, it was good, everything was good. Why? Because they didn't like Yazid. They didn't want Yazid. So that was their movement. But when we recite the letters that they have and the actions they did, we find that they had one problem. That's why they betrayed. What was the problem? Until that time, it was good. Until the time that Muslim was there. That means only like 20 days before Imam Hussein reaching Kufa. Until that time, everything was good. What happened suddenly? Why did you change? And when we read the letters, we see they had a problem. From the letters that they sent, we can divide the people of Kufa in 3 parts. In 3 groups. The first one were those that were with Yazid, with Muawiyah. They liked him. 100% Yazid. They wanted him. That's the first group. The second group are those that they wanted Imam Hussein because they knew him. They loved him. They were the great Shi'as, like Habib ibn Mudahir, like Muslim ibn Awsaja, like these companions, like Wahab, like these kind of peoples. They knew Imam Hussein, they wanted him. They were good Shi'as. And the third group that they were the problem was they wanted Imam Hussein. They didn't want Yazid. Why they want Imam Hussein is because they didn't have any other choice. They were between Yazid or Imam Hussein. Okay, I don't want Yazid, I will choose Imam Hussein. They didn't want Imam Hussein because he is Imam Hussein. They wanted him because there was no better choice for them. If there was somebody else that was a better choice, they would have chosen them. There was no better choice for him. So they went with Imam Hussein. We see this in their letters. Like Sulaiman ibn Surad that I said. He's one of those persons. He always had difficulties with it. He's a Shia. He believes in Imam Ali. He believes in Imam Hassan. He believes in Imam Hussein. But he always had these difficulties. We see in the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen, in that time, when he was with Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, he doesn't go to the war of Jamal. He doesn't go to the war of Jamal. And what happens? Imam Ali talks to him. He's like, what's the problem? Why didn't you come? You should have come. Why did you escape? He said, no, I had problems. I couldn't come. And Imam Ali was like, what? Why are you doing this? In the other situation, when Imam Hassan talks with Muawiyah and they have peace, they do sulh. At that time, Sulaiman comes with anger. He says, Ya Hassan, what are you doing? Ya mudhill al-mu'minin. He's the person that told Imam Hassan, you are the weakener. You're the person that weakened us. The Imam of the time weakened you. You are the people that weakened Imam. Sulaiman says, Ya mudhill al-mu'minin. And he says, you had 100,000 people. Your army was 100,000. Why didn't you go against him? He was angry at the Imam. So we find that from these words and from these actions that he had one problem. What was that problem? And I'm going to talk about the subject. It's so important. It's so significant that it will change everything. Your thought will be changed. Your points of view will be changed. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. What was their problem? Their problem was that they didn't know their Imam correctly. They didn't acknowledge him perfectly. They didn't know what Imam means. That's their problem. They didn't have ma'arifatul Imam. Oh people, oh dear brothers, dear sisters, if you want to be a good person in your community, in society, you have to be a good Shia. If you want to be a good Shia, you have to know your identity. You know how many youth, they don't know their identity? They don't know who they are. They would say this word. 63% of youth from 18 years old to 34 years old. They say this word, this sentence that, when I grow up, I don't know what I'm doing. Why I'm in this world. I don't know my identity. 63%. And that causes depression. That causes suicide. Because they don't know their identity. They don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. What is Shia? What is Islam? They don't know it. That's their problem. 63%. That's not little. 63%. More than a half. They struggle with that. What am I doing in this world? Parents, you have to look up to your children. They have this problem. And future parents, you have to work on yourself until your children can be like this. You have to take care of them. And I have a solution for this. What is the solution? The Imam says, the Prophet says, and it's even in Sunnis and Shia's books. In both books we have this. That قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. Please. Okay. everybody, please, each step that you come forward, inshallah, will be a step in Karbala, a step towards Imam Hussein, a step toward Imam Zaman, inshallah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Please, sisters, not only brothers, listen better. Please, sisters, come forward too. Until the sisters can listen to Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. If you don't want me to bother you, you have to put like a partition here so I can't see them until I can. And stuff. So, what did Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam say? It's so important. Even Sunnis have this. Not only Shias, Sunnis have this. This saying. He says, "Man mata walam ya'rif imama zamanihi mata mitatan jahiliyah." Whoever dies, passes away, and doesn't know his imam of the time, he dies in an ignorance way. He dies without any iman. He dies without any identity. He doesn't have any identity. The Prophet doesn't say prayer. Doesn't say fasting. Doesn't say performing Hajj. Doesn't say giving charity. And another thing, and another thing, and another thing. He doesn't say knowing Imam Hussein, knowing your other Imams. He says, "Man mata walam ya'rif Imam." If you know Imam Hussein, you love Imam Hussein, but you don't know your Imam, the Imam of your time, mata mitatan jahiliyah. Yes, Imam Hussein is important. Yes, other Imams are important. But what time are you in? You are in the time of Imam Zaman. You're not in that time. Ya Shaykh, you're making this up. All Imams are the same. كلهم نور واحد. Okay, I love Imam Hussein more. I know him more. What's the problem? I'm not making this up. We have narrations. Muawiyah called Imam Hussein and Imam Hassan. And there was Qais ibn Sa'd. Qais ibn Sa'd ibn Ubadah. Sa'd ibn Ubadah was the person that didn't pledge to Abu Bakr and Umar. He didn't pledge to them. So he went out and the companions of Abu Bakr and Umar killed him. And when he was killed, they said, okay, it's going to be a big tragedy. What should we do? We should lie here. We will tell that the jinns killed him. We're not getting it. We didn't kill him. The jinns. Suddenly, at somewhere, the jinns killed him. That's Sa'ad ibn Ubadah. He was a good person. And Qais was a good person too. A good companion too. So he goes with Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein to Sham, to Syria. They go there. Muawiyah wants to take pledge from Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein, and he does. He takes pledge from them. They give pledge and he calls Qais. Ya Qais, come to me. Give me pledge. Qais is coming to give pledge to Muawiyah. But 1 second he hesitates. He hesitates and he looks as who? He looks to Imam Hussein. He looks to Imam Hussein. Do I have the permission to pledge to Muawiyah or no? Imam Hussein looks at him. He says, Innahu imami. Imam Hassan, he is my Imam. You should look at who? At Imam Hassan, not me. The Imam of your time is Imam Hassan. Yes, Imam Hussein was the Imam too. But the Imam of that time was Imam Hassan. He said, you have to look at who? Imam Hassan, not me. And today is the same situation. If you look to Imam Hussein, you have to go through Imam Zaman. You have to go through him. And I have a challenge here. Is knowing Imam Zaman, just knowing his name. Okay, his name was Muhammad, they say. His name was Mahdi. We call him Mahdi. Is that enough? Okay, no, I know more. His father was Imam Hassan al-Askari. Is that enough? Okay, I'm going to add one more thing. His mother was Najma Khatun. Is that enough? He was born in Samarra. Is that enough? Is that man mata walam ya'rif? He was born 255 Hijri Qamari. Is that enough? His occultation was 260, 5 years after. Is that enough? Is that knowing our Imam? And my challenge is that I can debate on this. I can call anybody of you right here to come talk about your phone. Come talk about your phone. For how much you can. I'm going to promise you that everybody, at least 15 minutes you can talk about. At least 15 minutes, not more. At least 15 minutes. Some can take 1 hour, 2 hours. No, just 15 minutes. My phone, okay, it's Samsung. It has Android. The cameras are like 50 megapixels. It has this software. It has this hardware. It was made in this year. The model is this. It has AI. It has this game, that game. I can do this. I can take pictures this way. I can talk about my phone for more than 15 minutes. But can I talk about my Imam for 15 minutes? Just Imam. I debate you. Imam Zaman. For 15 minutes. I can talk about Imam Hossein for 2 hours. Ya Shaykh, let me come here. And I'm going to talk about Imam Hossein for days. I know Imam Hossein very good. What year he was killed. What year he was born. What happened. The tragedies that happened. I can talk about that for how much you want. But can I talk about Imam Zaman? Okay, that's good. That's very good. I'm not saying knowing about Imam Hussein is bad. Don't misunderstand me. Knowing Imam Ali, knowing Imam Hassan, knowing Imam Hussein. These are wajib. You have to know them. But there's another wajib, more important. Man mata walam ya'rif Imam. You know your Imam Hussein. You know until Imam Hassan Askari. You know them. You know everything about them. But you don't know about your Imam. You don't act upon that. You mata, mitat. It's just done. Nothing. It's like nothing happened. You didn't pray. You didn't fast. You didn't do anything. Why? Because you didn't know your Imam. That's important. I don't know how to say it. It's very important. It's not, I don't know how to say it. It's that significant. He says you don't do anything unless you know your Imam Zaman. Why? What's the reason? Because whatever you do goes through him. If you do a good deed, it has to go through Imam Zaman. As we say, إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من ألف الشهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. The malaika come down to who? To your Imam on this time. On the Laylatul Qadr. They come to your Imam. He signs what you do. If you want to repent, you have to do it through Imam Zaman. He will accept it. Not others. Not others. And you have to know Imam Zaman. Do we know Imam Zaman? Ya Shaykh, how should I know him? Okay, I knew his father, his mother, where he was born. What else? Brothers and sisters, his attributes. Do we know right now in which phrase he is, in which way he is, how he is right now? What difficulties he is facing today? Is he even facing difficulties or no? He's the Imam, brother. He can do whatever he wants. No. It's not that situation. If it was that situation, Imam Hussein would be in a good situation. He wouldn't be killed. No, it's not like that. Yes, Imam has the power. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him the power to do whatever he wants. Do mu'jizah, do miracles. But they don't act upon it. They don't do it. They want to act like human beings. They want in this situation to be like this. Like Imam Hussein. Couldn't he do miracle? Couldn't he just throw his cane down and the water would come up and everybody would be not thirsty. They would drink water and the fight would be over. Yes. But it wasn't that. He wanted you to act. He wanted that time to act. Imam Zaman is in the same situation. What we have in the narrations about Imam Zaman, the narration says that the Imam Zaman is wahid. He is lonely. He is gharib. He is sharid. He is tarid. He is thrown away by who? By Sunnis? By other cultures? No, by Shia. He is not accepted by us. He is tarid by us. We don't want him. Me and you. Not inshallah you. All of you, I know in this majlis, all of you want Imam Hossein. Just like me. We want Imam. We want our Imam. But others, we see that he is tarid by others. Do we want our Imam? There was this very beautiful question. One scholar told me that, are you ready for Imam Zaman? I said, yes, I'm ready for Imam Zaman. I want Imam Zaman to come in this, right now I want Imam Zaman to come. And he asked me this question, that, okay, if you want Imam Zaman to come, if Imam Zaman comes right now and he tells you that, give me my phone, give me your phone, would you give him? Or would you say like, give me 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. Let me erase this, let me go out this account, let me delete this Instagram, that post that I did, this comment that I did. Would you do that? This video, that picture? Or would you give your phone right there? Another example, if he comes to your house, are you ready right now? Or are you going to say, wait a little, let me fix my house. I have this plate here, I have that there, this picture, that picture. It's not ready. I'm not ready. That means I don't know my Imam. That means I'm not ready for Imam. It's exactly the same opportunity. It's the same event that happened to Imam Hossein. They didn't know their Imam. That was their problem. I'm talking about this. That was their problem. They were good until that time. But what was their background? They didn't want the Imam because of he is the Imam. They just didn't have any better solution. Are we like this? If we see somebody that we think is better than Imam, would we go to Imam or go to that person? We would go to that person. We would choose him, like we do until today. We find another person that he's better. Until today, why don't we call our Imam Zaman more? Only in difficulties we call him. Why? Because we think, okay, he's only for difficulties. No! He's not only for difficulties. Whenever you want him, you should call him. He likes that. He wants that. He wants you to talk with him. He's our Imam. He's our Imam that he's alive. We sometimes act like we only have 11 Imams. What's the point that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him to stay alive? He could have killed him, like other school of thoughts think like this. Sunnis think like this. They say, okay, Imam Zaman, he's not born until today, until the day of reappearance. He's not born. And he will be born right before that, like for 40 years before the occultation, the reappearance. He will be born and then he will come. That's one school of thought. But we believe different. We believe the Imam is an occultation. He's not here, but he's alive. What's the point? Is it useless? No, it's not. It's for us. We have to use that. It's for challenging us. He's challenging us. If you want to know your identity, you have to know your Imam. But in the time of Imam Hossein, they didn't know their Imam. And that's why when he went to Kufa, he wanted to go to Kufa. Hor came in front of him. And he stopped Imam Hossein. And he told, you can't go to Kufa. He told him that, let me at least go back to my city, to Medina, to Mecca. He said, no way. He said, at least let me go to Iran. He said, no, you don't have a way. To Rome, no. And he was forced to go to Karbala. He went to Karbala. When he entered, just like today, Karbala, the horses stopped. He changed his horse. He wanted to move, didn't move. He knew that this is the place. He knew that this is the place. So he asks some people around him that what is the name of this place. One person said that its name is Nainawa. He said, no, I don't want that. Its name is Qadiriya. No, I don't want that. Its name is Karbala. Yes, this is the name. When he heard this name, he said, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-karb wal-bala. Oh Allah, save me from this karbu bala. After that, what happened? فَجَمَعَ الْحُسَيْنِ وُلْدَهُ وَإِخْوَتَهُ وَأَهْلَ بَيْتِهِ. He gathered every of his relatives, his son, his sisters, his brothers, all together. فَنَظَرَ إِلَيْهِمْ. He looked at them. After that, he looked at them, he cried. Why did he cry? Because he knew what will happen. And he tells that. What does he say? He says 4 sentences that it puts fire in our hearts. It's so hard. What does he say? He says, Ha huna wallah masfaku dima'ina. This place is the place that our blood will be poured. This is the place. Ha huna wallah qutila rijaluna. This is the place that they will kill our men. وَهَا هُنَا وَاللَّهِ ذُبِحَتْ أَطْفَالُنَا. This is the place that our children will be killed. I don't know what Rabab was thinking at that time. He was grabbing Ali Asghar more. I don't know in that time after he said this. And one more sentence that he said, وَهَا هُنَا وَاللَّهِ سَبِيَ نِسَاؤُنَا. This is the place that our women will be present. I don't know what Zainab was thinking, what Abu Fadl was thinking in that time. Abbas, he's ghayratullah. When Imam Hossein said that, I don't know what he was feeling in that time. Ya Abbas, where were you? In that time, you were with Zainab. Zainab didn't have any fear because you were with them. But after almost 40 days, Zainab went to Sham, to a majlis that they would serve sharab. They would serve sharab. وقتی رسید قافله در مجلس یزید بالا گرفت قائل در مجلس یزید. When Zainab reached the majlis of Yazid, everybody started to talk. Talked about what? اشک سر بریده در آمد که پا گذاشت زینب میان سلسله در مجلس یزید. When Zainab entered the majlis, they saw the heads of Imam Hussein and Abu al-Fadl crying. زینب همین که وارد بزم شراب شد بر روی نی محاسن سقا سپید شد. They saw, because of that pain, Abu al-Fadl Abbas couldn't handle. He was crying. Everybody shout out the name of Imam Hussein 3 times. Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. على لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. ماتم الحسين.